Hey, what's going on guys? It's Ryan from Game Essays, and today I want to talk about how Zelda is really wasting its brand potential. Before I jump right into the topic, I do want to say I recently opened up a Discord channel, so if you want to join that, talk some Zelda, some other video games, the link to that is in the description. So as I said, topic of today is about Zelda as a media franchise, Zelda as a brand, and are they doing everything they can do to make Zelda as successful and as big as it could be? Because in my opinion, they're not, and I'm going to explain why. First, I have this little page up here about all the largest media franchises, and unsurprisingly, because most of you probably heard through various sources about Pokemon being the largest media franchise, and it has a breakdown of why it's successful. You can see licensed merchandise is actually far and away the most successful aspect in terms of dollars. Now, obviously, things like the video games and the TV show, box office, anime, all that go towards making the licensed merchandise compelling enough, and I think they just make the most money off the merchandise. But like I said, all these parts are coming together to make Pokemon a very successful media franchise. Now, not too far below, we have another Nintendo property, Mario. Mario is pretty massive. You can see the video games, though, for Mario, kind of unsurprisingly, is the most successful thing. They aren't quite as good with the merch as Pokemon, to be fair, but still, 4.5 billion in licensed merchandise. It's pretty dang good. Now, where do you think Zelda lies on this list? Because I would think if you were to ask someone, what are the most popular Nintendo franchises? People would probably say Mario first, Pokemon, and, maybe Zelda would be either third, fourth, or fifth, somewhere in that range. So you would imagine that, you would guess, right, that Zelda would be below Mario in terms of, grossing, sales, altogether, all this stuff, merchandise, video games, all that. You would definitely guess that Zelda would very likely be below Mario. And that's correct, but the question is, how big is that gap? How big is that gap? Well, I'm going to show you how big that gap is because, so we're going down here, we're passing Harry Potter, so Mario's actually bigger than Harry Potter, we're passing Dragon Ball, Toy Story, now we're getting into the 10 to 20 billion category, Yu-Gi-Oh!, we got The Simpsons, The Lion King, Looney Tunes, Frozen. We're going past League of Legends now, Final Fantasy, Candy Crush. Now we're into 5 to 10 billion. We're going down. Hey, here's the Angry Birds, Jurassic Park. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean, Sonic the Hedgehog, Paw Patrol, Fast and Furious, Big Bang Theory. Of all things, Ice Age, which when's the last time they had a movie? And we're moving down, and we got Seinfeld, Naruto, Assassin's Creed, and boom, all the way down here, Legend of Zelda, 4 billion. So basically saying that for all of Legend of Zelda since 1986, although these are around 20, maybe these are 2019 or retrieved? No, February 2021. So these numbers are a little outdated, but still, during this snapshot, Mario did, total merch more than Zelda's ever done. And to be fair, they only have video games here, but I think because Zelda's other avenues are so insignificant that they're not even on here. So clearly, what's going on? Zelda's gonna be more popular than this, right? I mean, look at this. Breath of the Wild is far and away, so Zelda's at an all-time high. Breath of the Wild is far and away the most popular selling Zelda game ever. So Zelda should technically be at an all-time high. Even combining Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time 3D, combining all the versions of Link's Awakening. No game has ever come close to the sales of Breath of the Wild. And if you look at the best-selling Switch games, which the majority of Breath of the Wild sales are for the Switch, it surpassed Pokemon. It surpassed Mario Odyssey. Obviously, it didn't quite, hit, but it's in striking distance of Smash Ultimate. A little too far away from, Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing, but still, it is basically the second highest grossing, like, single player game, really. Although, they have single player modes for the other, but like, single player focused game. And even Animal Crossing has multiplayer aspects, but I would consider Animal Crossing and Breath of the Wild two very single-player focused games. It's the second best-selling one on the Switch, and the Switch has sold a crazy amount. So basically what I'm trying to say from this is that Zelda, since Breath of the Wild came out, is basically at its all-time high, and you would think that they would want to capitalize on that for their brand and expand it, because one of the things that Pokemon has been extremely successful at doing is keeping Pokemon in the conversation basically year round, right? Even if they don't have a game coming out, which lately they've had a ton of games coming out, but even when they don't have a game coming out, there's always cards coming out, the anime is always going, there's always something new going on with Pokemon. There's their Worlds event, there's a spin-off game coming up. And to be fair, they came out with Age of Calamity for Zelda, so that's great that they were trying to expand it. I mean, Hyrule Warriors doesn't hit the same note as like Mario does with things like Mario Party and Mario Kart and all that. But my point is that I feel like Zelda had a great opportunity with the success of Breath of the Wild to really capitalize on expanding their brand and doing things like a card game, which maybe someday I'll do a video on ideas for what a Breath of the Wild TCG could look like. But there should be more to Zelda to keep things relevant, because we know the news cycle for new games is really brutal, and we know Nintendo tries to have like one Zelda thing every year. And you can see with the anniversary that we had that they really didn't go that hard compared to Mario. And my point is, I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential for Zelda that's just not being utilized. And there could be so much more merchandise. There could be so much more, maybe not a TV show, but something else going on. More spin-offs, more books or lore things, just to keep people interested, keep things going. And I know Breath of the Wild is almost kind of like a reboot in some ways, and I feel like they should have used that opportunity to do more. Just an example, if you've been on my channel long enough, you probably see me open these like packs of cards, right? I've been a lifelong Zelda fan, but I've followed Zelda very closely from basically 2011 onward. And these came out in 2016. I had no idea these even existed until about a year ago. Like, these just totally passed me by. Zelda came out with something, I had no idea about it. So clearly you can see like their marketing with anything outside of the games is absolutely awful. And so people really just only think about the games. That's why, it's different. Like, people care about Pokemon cards. There's a little community for like Zelda cards, but people don't really care about that stuff because they don't really push it. So I just like to see the brand get bigger, especially capitalizing on, Zelda should have been at an all-time high during the release of Breath of the Wild. And it was, like I said, for the game itself, but they didn't really use that opportunity to expand the franchise into more. And that's really just the sum of today's video. It's a very ranty video, and I know it's not super visually pleasing, but this is just a thought I had, and I wanted to get this video out to get your guys' thoughts about what could Zelda do to expand itself as a brand, as a media franchise. Why is Nintendo wasting the potential of Zelda? They Mario and Pokemon is definitely run by multiple parties, not just Nintendo itself, but maybe there's only enough room in Nintendo's planning to just keep Mario as the brand and everything else being secondary. But I feel like there's so much potential to have more Zelda stuff, and there is some merch out there, like I said, but it's you have to really look for it. You have to go out of your way. It's not in your face the same way Mario and Pokemon are. But anyway, I'd love to get your guys' thoughts. Just a quick video today, quick ranty video. Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.